on this program are solely their own and do not represent the views or opinions of Blind United. We strive to provide diverse perspectives and discussions on our platform, but the opinions expressed should be understood as personal viewpoints and not reflective of Blind United as an organization.
Let's get ready to rumble! Y'all ready for this?
Well, good morning, everyone, and welcome to another edition of Coffee Time with Blind United. Of course, I'm Ed, and I got my brother Pedro back with me today. Good morning, Pedro.
Good morning, Ed. Good morning, peeps. How is everybody doing on this Wednesday? I'm calling it Week Wednesday because I'm weak right now. I'm tired, guys. And I just came back from a vacation. It's funny.
So, anyway, I want to holler at Thomas. He's in the chat already. So, good morning, Thomas, out there
Good
in
morning.
Colorado.
Okay. Colorado in the house.
That's right. So we do have one interest group today, and that's Pedro's group. So I'm gonna let him tell you what he's gonna do tonight.
Yeah, folks. Well, tonight, I am gonna look over. I'm gonna go over the widgets. I don't think I have a recorded session for the widgets. So I gotta go into some of those. The widgets are they're like things you could place on your home screen that give you information. So let's say you have a widget for mail, and it shows you your top 5 mails, your recent mails right there on your home screen without opening the application. Another good use is putting a widget for reminders. Let's say you have a grocery list or any type of list, a daily list, and you could check those off without even opening the application. Another good use for those are calendar widgets that give you a view of your day or your week. So, and the way they're able to display more data is if you have a bigger widget. So, you have a small widget that will take out 4 applications. Think about it like a little square. Let's say the 2 top applications and then the 2 bottom. So it'd be like 2 rows and 2 columns, and that's a little widget. And then you have a medium widget that would take out 2 rows of applications and put a widget there with all the information. So be aware they got full page widgets. That is a full page of your home screen, and you could get all that info you want and things like that. So it's pretty neat. Different applications have different widgets. You have your weather. You have your Facebook widget that gives you your few notifications, a few updates and memories and things like that. You have a Twitter widget if you're still into Twitter, but now known as X. I guess Elon likes, a lot of X characters.
They even named his son X, from what I understand.
He has a car name X, a social media name X, and his son. So put them all together, what you get. But yeah. So you have different widgets, pretty dope. You even have an app store widget. You could have a watch widget that shows you your alarms and things like that. So they're similar to something called complications that you have on your Apple Watch that we actually went over on the last class. Apple Watch Basics. We stayed within the watch application in the iOS system. So if you tuned in, that's pretty dope. But I will be uh, re uh, re redoing the widgets to make sure I do have a recording because I think that was before that. So if you would like, come join me. If you have questions, I will open it up and things like that for you guys. And you can ask me any kind of question you would like to have, and that is tonight, 7 p.m. Excuse for not having a summary out for you guys and letting you guys know what the class was gonna be about. Any questions? Ed?
I know, y'all. You good. That's your thing. I'm not doing widgets and all that. But I know there's a lot of people do, so I don't stand in the way of progress.
Yeah.
I
Well.
let people do what they are capable of doing, and like I said, I don't use all that stuff, Pedro. You know, dog. My phone is a phone and a toolbox.
Exactly. You said it yourself. A toolbox.
Right, but I mean, those are tools I don't use. I don't know. Maybe I'm using American and you're using metric. I don't know. It's
uh, yeah. Well, what I use it different ways, especially for my calendar. I need the 7 days to show up in my home screen, and every time somebody asks me, I hate that I need to go open the calendar, look for the different dates. Here, I could just hit like highlight the widget. It will tell me the date. I scroll to the right. It give me my first appointment, and if it's not Wednesday, Thursday, or Friday, it gave me the 7 day week, my appointment.
next one coming up.
Yeah, next 3 or 4 coming up actually, and that makes it easier for me to know what I'm doing in a certain week. Guys, sometimes I have some important things to attend to. It's not that, I don't want to be in the show. I love doing the show. I love coming out here and talking to you guys, seeing the comments and all that. So,
But
sometimes.
not while he on vacation, y'all. He just kicked up the
Oh
tour
man.
while he's on vacation. So,
Yeah,
but
I was listening, guys. I just, in the end, I was like, I should have hopped in, but and then I ended up popping in the pool.
all right,
Yeah, but it was a good
that's all good.
vacation overall. You know what I mean? And it was a good discussion you and George had yesterday. You know.
Well, I mean, he was listening in and heard I was in there by myself, so he threw me a
Oh,
life preserver.
okay, okay. I
Jumped
didn't know
in.
that. See, I got in there a
Well, you
little.
know me, Pedro. If I'm available, I'm gonna do it, rain or shine, by myself or with 15 people. I don't care. It's
Yeah.
as long as I'm available, I'm gonna make it happen one way or the other. So, but
Yes.
it just kept me from rambling on to myself.
Yeah.
So so that's the main
So,
thing. So,
any
but
groups tonight? Well, just mine, huh?
just your
Okay.
group,
Okay.
and then tomorrow, actually tomorrow I don't have any. So
Yeah, man.
first Thursday, and then
Mm.
Friday, because of Viejas, we won't have no movie. So
Mm-hmm.
there won't be no movie night this Friday, and then
Okay.
moving on into the next week, and then we had to work something out for next Friday because I know I'm not gonna make it home in time for a movie that night.
Mm.
So, because that's when I go do my consultation. So, but anyway, that's
We
coming
figure it
down
out.
to
We figure it out for sure.
right. We'll figure it out. No big issue. But other than that, man, I'm dying to ask, Pedro, what you think about her choice?
Um. First, I was like, okay, I don't know the dude, but I did saw some clips of him speaking and stuff, and he's well spoken, intelligent speaker. Um, he has a good track record. He sticks to his word, and he's loved over there in Georgia and stuff. You know,
Well,
he's a
he's in
veteran.
Minnesota is where he's at now.
Oh, he's in Minnesota. Okay, and he's an
Right. So,
ex-veteran at that.
right.
An
Plus,
ex-teacher.
he's originally from the Midwest,
Mm-hmm.
so The town he grew up in was only 400 people. Okay, he said
That's
there
small.
was 28 people in his graduating class, right? So then
Okay.
he left there and he did 25 years in the National Guard.
Okay. Okay. Good service.
Okay, then he left there and got into took his GI Bill and went to school to become a teacher. Okay, so he what did he teach? Social studies,
Yes.
as well as he was a football coach.
Mm.
And then I believe he left there and then went and ran for Congress. Then
Yeah.
he
So.
served served a couple of years in Congress. He's instrumental in doing a lot of the stuff that got done for the vets.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
With their insurance and I mean, bottom line, as far as I'm concerned, if you served in the military, man, you should get a gold card when it comes as far as your benefits.
Mm.
You know what I'm
Full
saying?
coverage. It should be a
Full
full
coverage,
coverage.
all of that. So but
Because
he
they tell you to put it all on the line when you go over there. You
right.
know,
So we
you
need to put it all on the line for them when they get back.
exactly the point.
So
Exactly the point. You
yeah.
know.
But he did that,
Hmm.
and then he became governor over there after serving in Congress. He became governor over there in Minnesota.
Okay.
And right after the Roe v. Wade thing, when they took the rights away from the women,
Hmm.
he codified it in the state. But no, it's legal in Minnesota.
Mm.
He protected women's rights in Minnesota.
And he
You
got a
know,
lot of things done, and he's a small majority and a Democrat in his state too. And he
right, right,
gets
right,
things
right.
done. He got funding for schools. I think he got the lunch for all the kids
Right.
free.
He signed a bill that every child in Minnesota that goes to public school get free lunch. They don't care what your economic status is.
And
All kids that go to public school get free lunch.
it should be that like that across the country, folks. We shouldn't have kids that are scared and or feel ashamed to go pick up a lunch because they owe a few cents. We got kids, and some parents are just can't, you know, and it's school. It's our future. Invest in our future.
Exactly. I mean,
You
and
know?
and it ain't the kids' fault. Number one,
Yeah,
let's just be clear about that part. But number
correct.
two, there's a multitude of reasons why the child may not get whatever their little copay is for their lunch or whatever it is. I mean, it could be there's just economics for the family.
Hmm.
It might be a single parent that's struggling to make ends meet. You know what I'm saying? And
Hmm.
and I'm not going to discount. It could be, especially when you're talking about folks in the inner city, it could be, kids dealing with a parent that's, addicted some kind of way, whether it be
Hmm.
drugs or alcohol or something, right?
And
But
that's not the
again,
kid's fault.
it's not the child's fault. So I
Hmm.
mean, number one, they can't concentrate and study if they hungry. You
Yeah,
know what I'm saying? So
yeah,
I mean, I'm all for it, man. It's
yeah. I'm all for it. I know they have it over here now. They're over here. They actually passed some chemicals that they cannot have in the food, and I've been wanting something like that because sometimes they have things that I'm like, this is not healthy. You know what I mean?
right,
Even though
right,
they
right.
all getting fed, we need to keep them healthy, and it's our future. It's our future. And then
Well, again, I mean, it's all about that. He's all about that trying to help the kids. He's all about
public
women's
service.
rights. And they pushed this Roe v. Wade thing as well as the in vitro fertilization kind of thing or whatever that
Hmm.
other
Hmm.
thing that the right is trying to block
Hmm.
for people that can't have kids. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah. Yes, I know what you're talking about.
But anyway,
And
Pedro,
and
guess
what the
what? Guess
what?
hold on. His kids.
Hmm.
That's where they were conceived.
Oh wow, yeah. Because sometimes you cannot conceive and you need help. You know what I mean? And
Right.
and I thought they were pro-choice, pro-life. I mean,
Right, right, right. So I mean, again, so number one, you want to stop folks from, again, it's their body, So I'm totally against it simply because it's their body. I mean, do I believe in abortion? Not really, but it's not my body. It's not my choice, right? So, I mean, I can say that, but at the same time, you want to stop people from having abortions because you're pro life, but yet these folks are trying to create life and have children, and you won't let them.
And you know what is one of the idiotic stands they got too is that they want to ban condoms too.
Any kind of protection, birth
Hmm.
control, condom, any kind of contraceptive, all all of that,
And
the
then,
the,
hmm
the Plan B pills, all of that.
and then look, folks, I'm all for life, and I'm all for whatever a woman wants to do with her body. She has the choice. Okay, but when these kids are born, when they want to stop, when they overturn Roe v. Wade, right? And these kids are born, and the parents give them up to the system and stuff like that. We should still be on it and want to take care of these kids. Not only will because they're gonna be born. I mean, their entire life, if they're in the system, we need to make it better for them. Not just be pro life and say, okay, I'm pro birth. Basically, is
Right,
what they're saying. you
right.
know and back to the question you asked, Ed, about who she picked, Kalama. And I think it's a great choice. He's been in the in his community. He's he was a coach, he's been a teacher, he has that experience of that real life. While some billionaires, they're in their AC units, don't go coach, don't interact with our young folks, our young generation coming up. This person has. So I think he's a great, strong speaker. He's a strong man on stage and off stage. He sticks to his principles. That's somebody I like. Someone that sticks
Yeah,
to their principles, not someone that will bend to the will of the generals. Like he said, I wanted to get off Afghanistan. He bent it over, did not, because the generals told him not to. Okay. So, you know, I think it was a great choice. I didn't I know it was between him and what was the other dude? I forgot his name.
Buttigieg.
No, not Buttigieg. There's
Uh,
another one.
who was it? Was somebody else? Oh, it was a guy from Philly as well.
Hmm.
I think it was a governor from Philly.
Yeah, I forgot his name, and if I don't know.
Uh, well, even Gavin was. I don't know if Gavin was. I think Gavin was on the list as well.
And he seemed like he didn't make it to the top.
Well, I mean, and here's a key:
Hmm.
Kamala
Hmm.
and oh boy, right? They
Hmm.
both come from middle class families. They
Okay.
know what it is to have a family to work and get ahead, right? They still believe in the American dream. They don't, you know, when you look at folks that were born with money, right? They
Hmm.
don't really understand the struggles of the middle class.
They don't. You're correct on that. And we've been seeing the middle class disappear slowly, folks. So they know what's happening, and soon enough we don't want to be have just a poor class and a rich class. We need an in between, for people to climb that ladder. You know what I mean? Because and then, we have basically a ruling class.
Right. But
Hmm.
that's where they wanted to go. They want to make it a ruling class. But now we need, like you said, we need that ladder. We need to, to bring people up out of poverty,
Hmm.
with hard work and whatnot, where they, you create an avenue for people to cook, work their way up out of poverty, those that are born into poverty anyway, right?
Yeah,
And then they
yeah.
go in the middle class and,
Keep
depending
climbing.
on how successful, how determined, how,
Hmm.
motivated they are. I mean, they can move into into the more, upper middle class or upper class, right? Whatever we want to
Hmm.
call it, right? But most of the people that have, made it per se, right, and become, and I'm not going to say rich, I'm going to say wealthy, okay, that have come out of the middle class, they're more charitable. I mean, they give to they give back right to their
Hmm.
communities and they give back and help out with programs that uplift people versus other folks. They well, I got mine. You need to grab yourself by the bootstraps and make it happen while I throw all these obstacles in your way.
Yep, a
You know,
heartless way of thinking, honestly. If you're like, well, I made it. Well, you try, and you see somebody sinking, well, you lend a hand, right? Wouldn't you
uh,
lend a hand? And to be like that here, strap yourself by your
no,
bootstraps, and you get what? A 5 million deposit to help you out when you turn 18, or you get what you call those, the trust fund babies and stuff.
right. I mean, again, and then once he messed off, the money his daddy gave him. What did he do? Once his daddy died, he went and took his daddy's money away from everybody else in the family.
Yeah, and you cannot trust someone that will throw their family in the dirt and steal from them. You cannot,
Did
you
you
know.
hear? I was listening. They replayed it. I think I've seen it somewhere where they was one of
Hmm.
the things I was watching. They replayed it anyway. Was so back when he went in front of the black journalists,
Hmm.
right? They were asking him, is Vance ready on day one? He
Hmm.
said, "Well, I've always liked Vance. Blah, blah, blah." He said a couple words, whatever, right?
Hmm.
But then he said, "Well, it's not really about the vice president. They're actually insignificant. Because ultimately you're voting for me."
You know what he's doing, right? He's regretting his choice.
But he's also, again, still putting
Me.
the spotlight on his narcissism.
Hmm.
It's all
And
about him. Come on,
also,
man.
also there is reports that all his staff told him not to make those comments about our
Okay.
upcoming runner. Not to say things about a race, and he's like, no, no, no. He didn't
How
listen to
about the quick?
nobody.
How about the quick pro quo that he just threw out there? Did you hear the one that he did about Musk?
No, I did not say.
So forever he's been talking about how electric, is going to ruin us, right? Electric cars, this, electric cars, that, whatever,
Yes,
electric trucks, whatever. But
yes,
now
yes,
that
yes.
Elon Musk is giving him $45 million a month, right? He's like, oh well, now I have to endorse, electric cars because Elon is sponsoring me.
And then Elon said, "Hey, it's not every." He wanted a every month donation, and I think Elon said no. It's a one, you know. But you see, guys, he gets that green, and all logic flew out the window for that
His
bag.
loyalty goes to the dollar bill.
Yes, and to
Wherever the
really
money
someone.
coming from, that's who he's going to be loyal to.
Yeah, yeah, and it's kind of bad. It sucks, you know. You
I
know,
mean, and again, I think it's looking good for the folks on the left, but at the same time, I don't want nobody to just go to sleep on it. You know what I'm saying? We don't want per se, to just take it for granted. Oh, well, they got a winning ticket now, so we're good. No, don't think about that. Make sure you're registered. Make sure you
mhm.
vote. I mean, again, I can tell you who I'm voting for. I can't tell you who you voting for. I
Yes,
can't tell
yes.
you who to vote for. All I can tell you is to vote. So,
Also, hello George. He's in the comments. How you doing? He sent us a
my
waving
bad.
hand. No, I'm just
No, I
saying.
mean, I hadn't went down there to check up. I checked earlier,
Yeah,
and then I forgot about it.
but yeah,
What up, George?
it's true. And then also his uh Miss Harris and her running mate combined, they have the the they have the experience in office more than the right runner-ups do. You know what I mean? JB
Right,
Vance
right,
has been
right,
in
right.
office for 2 years. Donald Trump just those 4 years. You know, and
But both of these have lived a life of service in
uh-huh,
essence.
exactly correct. And
You know,
I'm down with an ex-veteran. He knows what we might need to do with the veterans. He won't hold back. Like I remember last year, they were denying the veterans medical help for those burn pits that the generals asked them to dig and dump all kinds of waste in
and
there, and
he
there was just 1 mile away from their camp, and
right.
they ended up getting sick. That we have them down in DC, and John Stewart, a comedian, an advocate for veterans also, but a comedian, went there and shed light on how the Republicans, the party of the veterans, was not trying to give them this right, this thing that they needed, that they ended up getting lung
Right.
cancer
They
and
were
other
denying
illnesses.
denying the passage. They didn't want to sign on to it. Just, I mean, it's the same thing. Like where they want to point the finger at Kamala about the border, but yet they don't want to talk about how Trump told them, no, don't vote for that because I need that as a campaign issue.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Okay, all the border stuff could have been solved. Everything that the Republicans have been asking for over the last 10 years was in
Yeah.
that bill.
And look, Biden went out of his way to give them all that, and they
Right,
didn't want to accept it. Only one Republican said we shouldn't kill this bill for Trump. Only one, and it's the I think it was it Chris Christie? Well, which man, I forgot which Republican was the outspoken one, but it was just one, folks.
right. Well, I mean, again, it was everything you wanted, but Trump wanted it to be a campaign issue. If you fix it, then he can't cry about it.
And I know what the right is saying. Well, they were gonna let in like 2 million a day, and come on, that's a lie. If the border was gonna get shut down, how they gonna let people in when it's shut down?
That
Okay,
part.
they were getting everything they wanted to, and I was against the bill. I didn't like it, but our leader in chief extended an olive branch and they slapped it and knocked it to the floor because of one person wanted to use it for his campaign. He put himself over the country. Like I thought the border issue was
Again,
a big issue. I thought for them.
he put himself over the country again. So,
Again.
but I mean, again, I'm sorry. The Republicans don't want to fix anything. They want to break things so they can point at what's broke and blame the Democrats.
Well, they're conservative. They want to conserve how things are. That means not fix them or excel to the future or improve our school
No,
systems,
they want to go
improve our
backwards.
infrastructure. We needed that Build Back Better plan that would have put us in the infrastructure of the 21st century. Our infrastructure is outdated, guys. Yes, they did pass a bill that's helping out these bridges and all that, and I'm all for that. But we had a bigger plan on the table, and they broke it
Right.
down. You know, the 2 year free college. I believe everybody should get 2 years free college, everyone, and get you ahead in life or where you want
I
to
mean,
start.
even if it's just junior college to get your prereqs out the way.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Just get all your prerequisites out the way. I mean, again, this is something that they put in place that you have to do, no matter what degree you're chasing, right? They have all these prerequisites that you have to take, right? So rather than waste that time in a university, go ahead and knock that stuff out in a junior college, right? You
Mm-hmm.
know, I'm also for folks, like they take a student loan out or whatever. If you put so many years in, whatever they'd settle it on,
Mm-hmm.
6, 8, 10 years in public service, then that's wiped away. You don't have to pay that. You know what I'm
Yes.
saying?
Yes, and they did have problems with the debt forgiveness. They were forgiving school debt for some people that had it over 30 years, guys. That's buying a house right there. 30 years.
Yeah.
Also,
And they
uh,
still owe. That's the
yeah,
cold part because of the interest. It's the interest on those student loans is just as bad, if not worse, than somebody getting caught up on child support. You never gonna pay it off. Okay, they charge you so much interest that
yeah,
you're never. Once you get what in child support, the way they call it, when you get into the rears,
hmm,
oh,
yeah,
you stuck. You had to hit the lottery to get out of the rears, okay? And,
yeah,
and and that's the way these student loans were set up. I mean, it was you
yeah,
actually had hedge funds that people bought into, which were giving out student loans, and then they charging these exuberant interest rates, and that's how they made their money off of these hedge funds.
And also, if you file for bankruptcy, that does not qualify to go away at
No,
all.
no.
So you're stuck paying that, and I know they had a fit because they were forgiving $10,000 on the low income family, single moms, anybody making, I think it was under 70 or 80,000, their debt was forgiven if they were not working in their field also. And I know the some government officials and government politicians had a big fit, some on the left and some on the right, mostly on the right. But we need help like that. These single moms that, or these young kids that went to college and got a degree and there's no jobs for them. We need to give a handout. You know what I mean?
Well, and then there's
Just.
also different scenarios. Like I remember my wife, she took out a loan to go and do what they call it was back in the day they called it she was going to be a systems analyst. Basically, she was a programmer, right? She was going to learn coding and all that kind of stuff, right? So she took out a
Mhm.
loan to go to school, and then she had started, right? But then my son got sick, and I mean it was life threatening for him, right? So she couldn't go to school. What happened? She still had to pay that loan off, even though she couldn't complete the course.
Yeah, they garnish your taxes too, your tax
All of
return.
that, all of
Mhm.
that. They took her taxes for years until that was paid off.
Yeah,
So
and
anyway,
it
go ahead
puts.
and hit the. We ain't doing the bus because it's over with now. So just hit the social media thing just to mark the halfway point.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, let's do that.
If you'd like to know more about Blind United, you can visit our website at blindunited.org. You can email us at info@blindunited.org. You can call us at 909-846-8825. You can follow us on Instagram at Blind United Interest Groups. You can follow us on X at Blind United 22. You can watch our YouTube channel, Blind United. You could join our Facebook group, Blind United Interest Groups, or you can follow our Facebook page, Blind United.
We miss you, Britt. That's why we playing your stuff so we can hear your voice since you're not here to hang out with us. So
Yeah,
we got to
yeah,
hear your voice some kind of way.
yeah. So let's switch a little bit of topics. I know we heard about the Apple Viz and how that a lot of people are talking about that in the blind community. There's another issue, and I think First Amendment Ed would like to weigh in this one. There's a new song by a popular artist. Everybody knows him, Eminem, aka Slim Shady. And in his new album, The Death of Slim Shady, he has a song where he says F blind people and F deaf people.
I haven't heard
Okay.
it.
You have not heard it?
No.
I will be putting up a short about it. But he says those lines, and there is people in the blind community that are upset at what he said. And let me give you a little more context, Ed, before we start talking about it. In the beginning of the intro, he states that he wants to get himself canceled. And the album is a battle between him and his alter ego, Slim Shady. But he says in the intro, I'm going to try to get you canceled. And he's like, how are you going to do that? And that's when he drops some of these lines, you know, and some people had something to say about it. I wanted to know what was Ed's opinion, and I'll give you my 2 cents after Ed does. Go ahead, Ed. What do you think?
Well, I mean, again, I haven't heard it, so but just the fact that you would try to. I mean, I remember let's say like you said, Slim Shady and Eminem. It was like you say his alter ego, whatever. I remember some of his early music.
Hmm.
Where he was kind of like telling a story, and I guess that was the Slim Shady or whatever. But again, man, you ain't got to throw nobody else up under the bus, though. I mean, Now it makes sense. I got what's his name? Aaron Morris is a brother that I follow. He's a blind rapper, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he sounds just like Eminem. When I first heard him, I mean, he sounded that. I mean, just the whole his lyrics,
The cadence, the lyrics, and the
cadence,
sound.
everything. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
he sounded just like Eminem. So now I understand why I've been seeing some stuff because he's got a YouTube channel as well.
Mm-hmm.
What is his name? I forget what his handle
Handle.
is. Yeah, I
Mm-hmm.
can't remember what his handle is right off the top of my head right now. But I mean, no, I mean that's wrong, man. I mean, come on, you ain't got to throw nobody else under the bus. I mean,
Yeah.
it don't make no sense. And why us? Why blind people? I mean, is there anything in there about anybody else, or is it just blind
Yes.
people?
Yes, there is. Right after that, I think he talks about Down syndrome right fast, something else. Christopher Reeves is right quick. So he's not only just picking at us, and the concept of the song, I understand the concept of the song. I am for freedom of speech and stuff like that. Um, doesn't really offend me. At least we are on his radar.
Well, I mean, again, dog. I mean, you can. I mean, I got that a lot of your stuff has always been kind of controversial,
Hmm.
but at the same time, come on, man, you don't have to throw the 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 the, the disabled community, whether we're physically or mentally or whatever, right?
Hmm.
I mean, and I say that because okay, you mentioned Christopher Reeves. Well, we all know Christopher Reeves is quadriplegic now because he fell off a horse, right? So his was he happened. It was physical, but it was something that happened to him. I mean, Down syndrome. I mean, they're born with it, right? Blindness. Yeah, you can be born with it, or you could be the flip side of me, where mine was from an accident, right? So, but again, to pick on the disabled community, period. I mean, that's shady. I mean, I hate to use that word because that's his alter ego, Slim Shady, but that's definitely shady. You
Yeah, and
know,
that is his alter ego. And he always been controversial to people, of his lyrics and stuff like that, and so you know, um,
I don't know. I'm gonna have to peep that out and listen to it and see if I can keep up with it because a lot of depending on how their cadence is, if they really fast, I can't catch all the words.
let me see.
He's not a blue, 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 blue kind of rapper. He's more you know it's a slower pace where you can kind of understand him better.
Yeah, yeah, he does
You know.
have he does have he's a big lyricist, um,
Yeah. So I'll check it out, but I mean,
let me
again,
see.
it doesn't make no sense. I mean, I mean, what you want to? I mean, ain't nobody said nothing to you about starting off as white trash from the south side of Chicago. I mean, Detroit or whatever it was. 8 Mile. Man. I mean, everybody held you up because you was from the hood.
Hmm. I
They
see if
didn't
I could
care. They didn't
play it for
care.
you.
Again, they didn't care that he was white. You know what I'm saying? He like you said, he was a lyricist. He could spit, so everybody held him up. It didn't matter. But now you want to throw some people under the bus. I don't know. I'm not. I'm not for throwing anybody under the bus like that. I mean, unless I'll throw people under the bus for what they do. If they're doing dulo, right? But
Hmm.
just to create a victim, you know what I'm saying? You don't need to pick on nobody. You sitting up there with all your millions. You ain't even got to spit another word the rest of your life if you don't want to. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? Just let it go. At least if you're gonna make money on the song, take the money you make and help out those communities. How about that? Okay,
Mm-hmm.
you can donate some money to Blind United so we can help some blind folks since you want to talk about us, right? How about that one? You know, I'm quite sure Christopher Reeves got some sort of foundation. He could use some money. Okay, we know the Down syndrome folks can use some money.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, again, you want to make money off of us because you were talking smack about us? At least throw a couple dollars our way. Come on, man. Something. You know,
Yeah.
I'm sorry I talked about you, but I was just trying to make some extra money. Okay, now you got your money. Break us off 10, 15%, something. Can we get our cut? You know, you
Yeah.
used us.
Well, he talks about everybody. He even talks about these rappers and stuff in the other albums too. And everybody got upset at it.
But see, they talk about each other. That's not nothing new. But when you bring in a community that has nothing to do with what you're doing, right? I mean, what does the blind community have to do with rapping? Nothing. What do the Down syndrome community have to do with rapping? Nothing, right? So I mean, again, rappers talk about each other all the time from day one. That was part of it, battling and talking smack about each other and each other's mamas and sisters and brothers and all that other stuff, right? But again, it don't make no sense. It really don't.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, I guess he was trying to get himself canceled. The whole object of the whole thing.
I mean,
And
cancel
I can see that
what?
the respectfulness of what he's saying and
But
the
what is he trying to
different
get
group.
himself canceled from, Pedro? He don't want to
Uh
be a rap star no more.
well, I guess he's putting it out to the people that are talking mess that he's been trying to get canceled. Not he's not trying to get canceled. The thing is they've been trying to get him canceled since his last 2, 3 albums and since the beginning with all the lawsuits he had to go to and all that. So he's been controversial.
So in
Um
other words, he's not really trying to get canceled. He's just trying to see how far they can push the envelope.
yeah, he's always been how far can I push the envelope, you know?
Well,
So I guess he's trying to go off on, going off on everybody. You know what I mean? And I guess it's him fighting with the Slim Shady, and Slim Shady is real shady. And the concept of the album. Basically, I guess he's trying to say, I killed Slim Shady. I'm not gonna be like this again. You know what I mean? He said, because I think he was saying that he's like 40, about to be 50, and people expect him to rap like that still, and he's grown. He says, you know what I mean?
well, as he should. He should evolve.
Yeah, I believe so. He should evolve. He has the skills to, you know.
Right. Well, again, that's I'm not denying any of that. I give him props because like I said, he made it happen. He came from being poor white trailer trash to where he is now. Living
Yeah,
large.
yeah, that is true. He is living large. His little girl Haley is college, full grown now. You know what I mean? So man, it's been years. This dude has been dropping and stuff like that.
Right. I
You
mean,
know.
and his whole family now are those that he, choose to take care of. I mean, they said, they'll never know the life that he came from because they'll never have to live that life,
Mhm.
you know. So, I mean, again, I give him props for all that he's accomplished, but you ain't got to make nobody want to take us to the top of the mountain and or the pyramid and throw us into the fire for what? Come on, man.
Well,
We
well,
sacrificial
remember
lamb. Come on.
Remember the Dave Chappelle show? Let's take it back a little bit. I know some of y'all, if y'all listening, y'all young, y'all might not know what I'm talking about, but if y'all know. Dave Chappelle, he was making fun of all different ethnicities and races stuff, right? And he was portraying the white folks like the normal ones. That some folks got upset. Some white folks got upset and said, "Why you're not making fun of us?" And he had two different skits. One where he portrays the white person as a perfect normal dude, and then he had another skit that he portrays the white person as a corny nerd and all this. You know what I mean? So
Right.
it could go both ways. I could
And
see
then
people
he did
saying,
the
"Why
other one
Eminem
where
don't
he,
include us?" You
and then
know?
he did the other one where he was a blind KKK wizard.
Yeah, that's that one. I'm talking about the controversial third season, why he left, and what everybody was talking about on magazines, how he only picks on ethnicities, he only picks on blacks, and why he's not making fun of whites and stuff like that. But that one that you're saying was funny and it was controversial too.
Yep.
But that's man, that show was funny. We cannot lie. That show was funny, even though those things were controversial. And we do live in a country that lets us, you know.
Well, it's our First Amendment. I mean, it's
Hmm.
again, it's not done in malice, right? It's done in humor. I mean, you're not talking about people just to be talking about them. You're talking about them because they're funny. You're making fun of it. I mean, again, uh, you could say he was definitely, controversial and straddling the fence. But because of the humor in it, a black guy being, a KKK wizard, and he don't realize he's black because he's blind. I mean, that was the funny thing, but you know, it wouldn't have worked without him being blind. Do I like the fact that he was using, somebody that was blind? No, I don't. But again, it wouldn't have been funny without it. So I mean, again, this I'm just, he talks about everybody. I mean, look at
Yeah.
all the issues he's had with the LGBTQ community.
Hmm.
But like he said, he's got a lot of friends that are in that community. It's not that he's against them. It's just that it's comedy. Who's that other dude? Is
Uh,
Bill
Ed,
Bellamy used to say it's just comedy. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
Ed. My transportation is here early and on
Okay.
last time. They don't care, folks. They don't care for waiting for their time. They will leave my butt behind. But at that note, I'm sorry. But yes, believe in the First Amendment. I believe he's able to say what he says. He says it in a humorous way, but
Right, 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 right.
you know how
Well,
that is.
I hear you. I hear you. Well, I appreciate you, my brother. Go on and get your ride so they don't leave your butt behind.
Because they will.
Yes, they will. Yes, they will. So, all right. Well, I appreciate you, and we'll talk later. And we got another day, and then we'll be off on our way to Viejas.
Yes, we will.
So, have a great day, my brother, and I'll end this thing in a minute or two.
Okay. All right.
All right. I'll talk
Bye.
to you soon. So, but yeah, I mean, again, myself personally, I hope everybody understands. I mean, again, I'm not into taking, what they call it, punches at people or, lashing out at people. I mean, again, if it's comedy, it's comedy. You know what I'm saying? But again, you don't have to just pick on any particular community. I don't know. Maybe I'm being what do they call that hypocritical. I don't know. I'm not sure. Let me see who's down there before I go out of here. Okay, there's Thomas. Okay, I don't know where. I don't know why I can't get to the new ones, but anyway. Let me see if that does it. I don't know. But Okay, that's George. So, all right, I ain't missed nothing. So, but anyway, folks, I mean, again, my thing is I just try to be cool with everybody. I'm not trying to throw nobody up under the bus. I mean, yeah, do I laugh and joke about? I laugh and joke about stupid stuff I do because I'm blind. I mean, all the time. I really do. If I bump into goddamn blind people, always bumping into stuff. Something. I mean, it's just you have to laugh at yourself at least, right? But I don't know. I guess I have to listen to the song so maybe I get a better understanding of what he's calling himself trying to do. I'm sorry, I'm an old man. I'm not really into all the rap and hip hop and all that kind of stuff. I'm into more easier listening stuff than that. I don't know. I really like that new genre, neo soul. I love that genre. That's a good genre right there. So, uh, but since Pedro's gone up out of here, and we're a few minutes short anyway, so I think I'm gonna go ahead and end this one until tomorrow, y'all, and then we'll get in here tomorrow and see if we can give you guys a great show and hold you guys over through the weekend while we go and do our thing down in Viejas. I would be here to do the show tomorrow, but I didn't spend my money to get on this bus, so I'm not just gonna waste my money that way. Plus, people expect me to be there, so I will definitely be on that bus on Friday. Plus, I've got to take all the snacks. So, that note, I'm gonna get up out of here and get up and get myself together because I got to go purchase all of those snacks at this point. So, I will talk to everybody. Talk to you guys tomorrow. I hope everybody has a fantastic hump day Wednesday, as George would say. Hump the one you love, and we'll talk to everybody tomorrow.